Yes, Prabhu, Hare Krishna, what you?
So Hare Krishna, Mother, thank you very much for joining and keeping the appointment with Krishna today. So let us start. Jagannath Baldeswara Mai ki jai.
Jai.
Nrsimha Bhagwan ki jai. Panchatattva ki jai. Shri
Jai.
Goswami ki jai. Parampara ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Gurudev ki jai. Taigo Padirigo. Om Jnantabrantasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnaprestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Today we'll be discussing Bhagavad Gita, verse number 17.17. Chapter is Divisions of Faith. Shraddhaya paraya taptam tapastatrividham naraihi afalakankshiਭir yuktaihi satvikam parichakshate. Shraddhaya paraya taptam tapastatrividham naraihi afalakankshiਭir yuktaihi satvikam parichakshate. Translation by Sri Prabhupada ki jai. This threefold austerity, performed with transcendental faith by men not expecting material benefits, but engaged only for the sake of the Supreme, is called austerity in goodness. Jai Sri Prabhupada ki jai. So another very important chapter, and nice to understand so many things from this. See, from verse number 14 till 19, we'll be seeing the austerity in the modes. So now this verse, which is 17.7, which we'll be discussing, is austerity in goodness. So first of all, let us see what is austerity. Okay. So Prabhupada, in one of the lectures, he says, see, we have to undergo tapasya. And we should not indulge whimsically to anything. Okay. That is not human life. So in human life, what is needed? There is need of education. There is need of regulation. There is need of following instructions of authorities. So that is human life. And law is meant for the human life, not for cats and dogs. Therefore, that's why in Bhagavatam, Rishabhadeva, he suggested to his sons, you practice austerity, tapodivyam. You know what austerity means? Rupa says, for example, I do not like anything, but for curing this material disease, I have to do that. That is so-called austerity. He gave an example. Suppose I'm habituated to smoking. I don't like, but now I'm habituated. But if somebody said, don't smoke, it is not good, it is difficult, it is not good for health. But I am habituated, so it is difficult for me to leave. But I have to do it if I want to cure my disease. And this is called austerity. That's why we'll see the different austerities. 17 will be austerity in goodness, then passion and ignorance. So today's verse is austerity in goodness. And what is austerity in goodness? Austerity done with transcendental faith. Austerity done not expecting material benefits. And austerity done only for the sake of the Supreme. See, we have seen in Bhagavatam, for example, Hiranyakashipu also did a real strong austerity. But that is totally in ignorance. He had faith, but he was doing for himself. Correct? For his own sake and for expecting material benefits. And it was not for the sake of the Supreme. So that is not in goodness, right? Whereas Dhruva Maharaj also did austerity, following the instructions of Narada Muni. So initially, of course, he also wanted for some material benefits. But when he had the darshan of the Lord after doing that wonderful austerity, he said, I don't want anything. That is completely, that is austerity. And this being the Damodara month, it is the greatest austerity we should perform. Getting up early morning and doing the Mangalarti, chanting our rounds. And then so another austerity is, if you are doing 16 rounds, we should increase the rounds this month. So that is austerity. So that means we have a target, but you do the as per corporate parlance. No? stretch targets, to stretch yourself a little bit more, so that you will at least achieve. Like, suppose if you want to get 100 marks in your exams, you should do at least 110, 120. Then only, otherwise if you do only 100, you'll get lesser. So you should stretch your targets. So we have to undergo this austerity. And this austerity is the king quality. It's known as the king quality, austerity. See, we have to be austere, okay? And Prabhupada, he said, four things he said. That is austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness. He said these four are the basic principles of religion, which prepares the ground for receiving the advancement in spiritual knowledge. Austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness. Now, how to remember this? See, it is very easy to remember these four things. From austerity, you take the A, austerity, right? And from cleanliness, C. So you take the first letters of that, O, A, and now C. So A is austerity, and C is cleanliness. And our AC, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. AC is there, right? So you will never forget. So you just remember his initials, AC. That is austerity and cleanliness. And then for M for mercy, and T for truthfulness. Right? So without AC, Bhaktivedanta Swami, we are empty. Correct? So AC, M, T, mercy, austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness. So you'll never forget these things. This is how we have to create some tricks to be applied so that these four letters are ingrained in our mind. We should be always austere, right? So every second of our existence, we should examine whether we are austere or not, whether we are clean or not, whether we are performing all the merciful activities or not, and whether we are truthful in our behavior or not. So these things, if we daily examine ourselves, then one day we'll definitely be austere, we'll be definitely clean, we'll definitely be merciful, and we'll definitely be truthful. That's why Prabhupada says austerity, cleanliness, mercy, and truthfulness are the basic principles of religion. And moreover, you to understand, this is not the end. Don't commit a mistake. This is not the, see, you cannot be satisfied. Okay, I am austere. No, it's not, you cannot be satisfied. I am clean completely. I am merciful also, truthful also. So I will rest now. No, there is no rest in spiritual knowledge. Your goal of existence is completely different. But this is the beginning. We commit a mistake regarding the four regulative principles also. We think, oh, I am following 3, 3.5. Right? Oh, no, I am doing 3, 3.5. But Prabhupada has given 4, not less, more or less. You have to follow. And you have to put yourself in a difficulty. That is austerity, right? So this is the thing. But we falsely believe that if we can follow the 4 regulative principles, then there is the end. But this is not the end. So these 4 principles of religion is not the end. The end is the devotional service. Bhaktim api uttamam labhet. So unless you have uttama bhakti, unless you have that, it's very difficult to pursue any other things. And if you pursue any other thing, then the goal of our existence is polluted. It is polluted. That's why in Bhagavad Gita teaches us that sacrifice, charity, austerities should never be given up. Yajna dana tapa karma na tyajyam karyam evatat. But we also learned that austerities and sacrifices are prescribed dharmas for previous yugas. So how they apply now in this yuga, in Kali Yuga? The answer is that the austerities and sacrifices pertaining to the previous ages were the specific austerities of performing mystic yoga and specific sacrifice of Vedic fire offerings in those ages. Which are so extremely demanding in the current age, because we should do it without any fault, right? Those Satyuga is possible, but Kali Yuga is not possible. And we are not fit to even attempt starting any of these practices in this age of fault, right? Kale dosha nide. But here in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is speaking of sacrifice, charity, austerity in terms of devotional service. So that sacrifice is the chanting of his holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So Yajnanam Japa Yajno Asmi. And charity is the distribution of prasada, spiritual food. And the austerity is to regulate one's body, shariram tapa, and words, right, and mind, for the sake of faithfully serving the Supreme Lord. So now these activities has to be performed without becoming unnecessarily proud. So the pitfalls of pride are readily available to anybody who excels in material qualifications, such as a leader. We can see that. But Bhagavatam says that for a materially elevated person, to escape pride is not so easy. Correct? Because one must have some mercy of the Lord to even escape the pride. So the devotees like Dhruva, he did not need to become humbled by the Lord. Because in spite of having all the opulences at his disposal, he was neither interested in sense gratification nor he was proud. But other devotees they needed to become humbled by the Lord because they had to become proud by their opposites, right? Hiranyakashipu. And another example is of Daksha Prajapati, right? Which so much pastimes are there in the Bhagavatam. So these are all the important points to understand with regard to the austerity in goodness. So we can see more of it in more classes, which we will come to know from them tomorrow and all. So that is best thing. So austerity is very, very important for us to do, especially in this month of Damodara. Of course, every time you have to do it. Get up early in the morning. That is the first thing, first austerity. Why we should get up early in the morning? Because that is the time there is no traffic in our mind. For example, if I have to go from Sakar Nagar to Ati Nagar in the morning at 5 o'clock, if I go, I will reach within 10 minutes. But if I want to go at 8 o'clock, it will take at least half an hour. Why? Because of the traffic. Same way in the morning when you get up, there is not much of traffic in the mind. You don't have to think about anything else. But once it is 7 o'clock, you have to start to preparing for the office, school, so many things. So traffic is more. So concentrating on chanting and all these activities is very difficult. So that's why austerity is very, very important. The king principle is austerity. Getting up early in the morning, doing Mangalarti. That is the foundation of our bhakti. So let's stop here. Hare Krishna. Granth Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you Mataji, for giving this opportunity. Mancha kalpataru kripa sandhu Patidanam pavani. Hare Krishna.